In this video, I'm sharing a few kitchen products that can seriously save you time and effort in the kitchen. But not just that, I'll also be showing you the many different ways each of these appliances can be used. Let's talk about the underdog on this list of kitchen appliances. It sits pretty on the countertop, looks super chic. When I first bought it, a lot of my friends asked, but apart from kneading chapati dough, what else will you even use it for? And fair, I get that question. So today I am also going to be showing you all a few other ways in which I use this machine. I like to keep it neat by wrapping the cord around a little organizer I've stuck behind it. For instance, if you need to whip up a batter and get that soft airy texture, this is your best friend. My dahi vadas have been consistently light and fluffy ever since I started using the stand mixer. Just 2 minutes of whipping, that's it. And about making butter at home, there are so many ways to do it, I know. But what works for me is using cold cream and letting the stand mixer take over. Just a few minutes and boom, homemade white butter with zero effort. And of course, how could I not mention cake batter? Getting that light fluffy texture used to be a bit of task, but this machine's made baking so much easier and faster for me. Plus I can multitask because I don't have to stand there holding anything while it does the job. Now about where I keep it, I like placing it on a sliding mat like this one. Makes it easy to pull it forward when I need to use it and then slide it back when I'm done. As for cleaning, I just use a regular cleaning spray or sometimes just water mixed with very little vinegar to wipe it down. And of course, I've linked everything, either the exact product or similar options, in the description box below. Okay, now let's move on to the most asked about product on the channel. Yes, the NutriBullet. Before I get into the product details, let me walk you through how I actually use it day to day. A lot of you ask if it can handle whole spices, and yes, I've used it to grind coriander seeds, whole red chilies and other softer whole spices. It does the job pretty well, as you can see. I haven't tried making turmeric powder in it yet, so I can't speak for that one. Now when it comes to purees and pastes, it's honestly amazing. You don't even have to stop and restart the machine multiple times. Just one go and you get beautifully blended purees and smoothies, super smooth and consistent. The one I use is a 900 watt machine. When I first bought it, it came with just one jar, but I've seen that nowadays it comes with two, one large and a smaller one. I like keeping all my mixers and grinders in a separate container so they're easy to pull out and access when needed. You know those silky butter chicken style gravies? This grinder gives you that smooth texture without any problem. Another common question is, can it grind soaked dals and rice for things like idlis or dosas? And yes, I've done that too. I've ground a mix of dals to make some super tasty bites over here, and the NutriBullet handled it really well. Just one thing, unlike a traditional mixer grinder, don't run it for too long in one go, give it a little breather. The only downside, the jars are made of plastic, but aside from that, the machine itself is solid, super strong, very powerful and genuinely useful in everyday cooking, saves me a ton of time too. Now the Instant Pot. This is one appliance I honestly use every single day, sometimes even 2 to 3 times a day. It's an electric pressure cooker that's become my go-to replacement for the traditional Indian ones. Inside, it has a classic stainless steel pot that's dishwasher safe. I actually keep 2 of these containers so I can just swap them out and make multiple things back to back. Most recipes just need you to set a timer and you're good to go. It has a porridge setting that cooks the rice and milk together without any stirring or supervision or fear of burning. The result? That thick, creamy, gooey texture we all love in kheer. I've honestly stopped making it the traditional way. No worries about milk spilling over either, just set it and forget it. Another game changer, the keep warm setting. Once your food is done, it keeps everything warm without overcooking, so you can serve directly from the pot whenever you're ready or whenever you're back home. Now, because my kitchen is super compact and I don't have extra counter space, I've placed mine right here on the dining table, but really it can sit in any little corner and still be super easy to use. I've cooked everything in it, from aloo matar sabzi to palak saag to even simple moong dal. But I think I get the most use out of it when I switch it to the yogurt or fermentation mode. It keeps the temperature just right to set homemade curd overnight or ferment dosa batter beautifully. The air fryer, it's one of those appliances that's been trending for a while now, and most of us already know what it does. If you're planning to get one, I'd suggest going for a medium-sized model, not too small. To me, it's basically like a mini oven that can bake or air fry things way faster than a regular oven. From non-vegetarian recipes, especially tandoori style ones that come out beautifully grilled, to vegetarian dishes, it handles it all. The one I use is a single basket air fryer by Kosori, so if that's something you'd use, it's worth considering. One of our all-time favorite snacks is bread rolls. They used to be deep fried and super heavy, but now I just brush on a little oil and air fry them. I also use it all the time for quick jobs like roasting peanuts, melting cheese over a dish, or putting together a quick snack for chai time. Let's talk about another little grinding machine. This time, it's technically a coffee grinder, but in an Indian kitchen, it's more of a spice grinder. I have one that comes with two separate jars, and I'll show you in a bit how I use them differently. If you have a tiny machine like this at home, it can be such a lifesaver, especially for small everyday grinding tasks. The biggest win is grinding whole spices. Coffee grinders are so good for this, whether you're adding a pinch of freshly ground masala to a recipe or making a batch of achar masala like I'm doing here. It gives you much more control over the texture. Unlike a regular mixer grinder or even the NutriBullet in my case, which usually gives you a very fine powder, this one lets you decide how coarse or fine you want the result to be. Just like with the NutriBullet, I store this one in a little container so it's easy to slide out and grab when I need it. Mine has two jars, one of which I use for wet grinding small batches. I actually had a small grinder earlier, but that one didn't have a separate jar. Now, due to its smaller capacity, it could handle grinding even just 2 cardamom pods. Just the other day, I needed a tiny batch of mango puree and I didn't want to bring out anything heavy. This machine is perfect in such cases. Same goes for dried mint powder. I make that a lot over here, which isn't always possible in a large grinder because the quantity for that would be really small. So if I'm making a quick tomato puree or something light that doesn't need heavy duty grinding, this is what I reach for. Which, let's be honest, is exactly the kind of thing we need in day-to-day Indian cooking. I've linked a similar option on Amazon India in the description box below. Try getting a compact one at first and see how often you reach for it. You'll be surprised how useful it becomes in everyday cooking. And before I move on to the other appliances, I do want to say these gadgets can make life a lot easier, but they're not always essential. It really depends on your style and how you like to cook in the kitchen. That said, every appliance I'm sharing today is something I've personally used over and over again across the years. Now I'm quickly adding a stick vacuum cleaner to this list, not just for the whole house but especially for the kitchen. Every time I'm done with a cooking session, this is the first thing I reach for. It picks up crumbs, spills, and whatever else has landed on the floor in just seconds. Honestly, my kitchen floor is usually clean in under 30 seconds. And in winter, when I've got more rugs and carpets around, it becomes even more useful. If you're someone who finds bending down a hassle, a stick vacuum can be a game changer. Super easy to use, super quick, and your kitchen stays tidy without the fuss. Of course, I'm mentioning this only for the dry crumbs. When we talk about saving time in the kitchen, we all know most of it goes into chopping fruits and vegetables, especially if you're a vegetarian. That's where a food chopper really comes in handy. Now, I know a lot of people think choppers are overrated, but for me, they've become really useful in special ways. The key is getting a good one, something that gives you actual control, not just random chunks. For instance, I always use it to finely chop green leafy veggies, especially methi, when I'm making methi dough. Total time saver. This one I use is from KitchenAid, and what I love about it is how much control it gives me whether I want something chunky or super fine. Honestly, when I first bought it, I didn't think I'd use it all that much, but here we are. I usually bring it out on days when I'm prepping stuffing for sandwiches, parathas, or some things like kebabs and cutlets. If you've been following the channel for a while, you've probably seen this little guy make an appearance more than once. The plastic part is dishwasher safe, but just a quick rinse with water usually does the trick. And just a quick note, all the appliances I've shared today aren't about encouraging mindless buying. It's simply my humble way of sharing what's genuinely helped me save time and effort in the kitchen. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, here's Home Gupshup signing off.